Has ECB given a green signal for Team India to have warm-up matches before the India-England Test Series? Well, I'm going to be telling you. Uske baad, former Indian cricketer Reetinder Sodhi feels that Rahul Dravid might ultimately replace Ravi Shastri as Team India's head coach. Aur sabse ant mein, former Sri Lanka captain RANATUNGA slammed Sri Lanka cricket for hosting second string of Team India. All of this and much more only in today's episode of News Tracker. Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well and keeping safe. My name is Nivedna Prabhu. Welcome to News Tracker. This is the show where we keep you updated about everything happening in the world of cricket. But before I begin the video to tell you what's making news, if you haven't liked, shared and subscribed to Cricket Tracker as yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, so hit that button quickly. And without wasting time, let's begin this video to find out what's making news in the cricketing world. Well, India and England are of course all set to take on each other from August 4th in that 5-match test series, but of course England will be playing host. Now one has to remember that right before the World Test Championship final, there was a lot of talk about the fact that, did India get enough practice before they went into that high-profile event, and they also spoke about, many people thought that because of that lack of practice, in those certain conditions, it did affect India's performance. However, on the other hand, currently, BCCI has requested the ECB for some warm-up matches before, of course, India and England take on each other. Now one has to remember it's not as easy as before because of COVID-19 and all the protocols and how they're going to be arranging it. Also with the biobubble measures, keeping in mind. So the safety of everyone is always of utmost importance in this testing times. But let's really look at what the details are in terms of, this particular information. Now, while an official announcement is yet to come, it is reported that ECB has accepted the BCCI's request of scheduling a couple of warm-up matches for the visiting team. Now, notably, the initial plan was for the tour was, India to play India A in 2 first-class games, who were also due to travel to the UK around the same time. Now, with COVID-19 concerns and travel restrictions, shelved the plan. So now, of course, there are reports, of course, that the ECB has given a green signal, but of course, like, I just mentioned that an official announcement has to be made as yet. But what do you all think? Do you think if they do get these warm-up matches, it's going to, of course, have, a bigger advantage in terms of how they perform? Do you think that was one of the reasons why, India did have a disappointing kind of run at the World Test Championship final, especially in England conditions, right? At the end of the day, it's all about where they're playing. So give me your thoughts in the comment section below. Well, it is, of course, an exciting time for Indian cricket. This is probably the first time in history that 2 Indian cricket teams will be playing in 2 different countries at the same time, which is probably, interesting to see that simultaneously how these 2 tours are going to pan out for both the different squads that will be going. But if you observe one thing, the coaches, of course, are different for both these teams. For Sri Lanka, of course, Rahul Dravid is, heading it as the interim head coach. And of course, on the other hand, Ravi Shastri is, of course, busy in England. But that really talks about, what is the future of Indian cricket looking like in terms of the head coach for Team India. Now, former Indian cricketer Reetinder Sodhi feels like ultimately the person, who's, of course, got this interim coach kind of position, which is, of course, Rahul Dravid, might ultimately become, the head coach for Team India. He had a lot more to say about Rahul Dravid. What did he say? Well, let me tell you. Now, Reetinder said, first of all, we have to acknowledge that Ravi Shastri has done a great job as coach, and yes, his contract is coming to an end. But let's think about it, a temporary arrangement, and that to Rahul Dravid. If there's anyone that can replace Ravi Shastri as coach, that in person is, of course, Rahul Dravid. Now, there is a lot of talk about, how Ravi Shastri has done over the past few years in terms of course, Reetinder talking, he says that Ravi Shastri has done a great job with Team India. But what do you all think? And do you also agree with the statement that ultimately if there's someone who has to replace Ravi Shastri, it is going to be Rahul Dravid? Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. अगर हम India Sri Lanka series के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, we're talking about, how things have panned out. One thing is for sure that it's looking like Team India is, having a bright future in terms of youngsters also looking on, ahead in terms of their journey. Because at the end of the day, if Team India can manage to really have 2 separate squads to go into such high profile series simultaneously, it speaks volumes, right? And we just discussed that. And the second string, of course, is already in Sri Lanka, and they're prepping to take on Sri Lanka as well in this particular series. But one person who's definitely not happy with the second string team from Team India being sent to Sri Lanka is former Sri Lanka captain RANATUNGA. He's come down really hard on the Sri Lankan cricket board, saying that this is absolutely not justified, because at the end of the day, a full strength team where he was, of course, talking about terms of players in the caliber of whether it's Virat Kohli or even terms of Rohit Sharma, players like that should have been sent for the series, and this is pretty much an insult. That's what he feels, and he said that the Sri Lankan cricket board should have been far more smarter with the kind of decision they've taken, because he feels like if they were to host, they would rather have a Virat Kohli led team to be hosting them in, of course, Sri Lanka. But he had a few more things to say about it. What did he say? Well, I'll tell you. Now, Arjuna Ranatunga said, this is a second string Indian team and they're coming here as an insult on our cricket. I blame the current administration for agreeing to play with them due to television marketing needs. India sent their best team to England and sent a weaker side to play here. I blame our board for that. Now, he's really called out saying that a weak team has been sent to Sri Lanka. But do you guys agree with that statement? Because in terms of even the squad that has been sent to Sri Lanka, it's not like at the end of the day they have not played international matches. Of course, there are many still waiting to make their debut for Team India. It's an excellent opportunity for youngsters as well. But how do you all view this? Do you feel that at the end of the day a Virat Kohli led team should have been sent, or do you feel like the future of Indian cricket is just bright and they have that many more options, which is a wonderful thing? Whose side are you on? Let me know in the comment section below. Well, that's all I have for you this edition of the News Tracker. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Follow all our social media channels, including our Telegram channel, because we have some amazing match-winning combos as well as fantasy tips for your fantasy team, so you wouldn't want to miss it. My name is Nivedna Prabhu and I'll be seeing you very soon in the next video. But to do that, subscribe to Cricket Tracker. And until I see you next time, of course, take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye-bye.